Okay, this video is going to be about speeding tickets, speed limits, and how they don't work. I'd first like to describe my speeding ticket experience. You see, a while ago I used to consistently go 20 over the limit, sometimes 25 or more actually, especially on open roads and there's very little traffic, which I don't think is very dangerous, and I think it's kind of unfair to pull people over for that. But after a while I actually did start slowing down because I was worried about getting a ticket. So, ironically, after I had slowed down, I actually got a ticket because I was passing someone who had slowed down to look for a cop. Consistently before, I had avoided probably about 40 pullovers because I was attentive to where cops might be hiding. I was watching carefully and I would see them a long way in advance, especially in open areas, easily half a mile to a mile in advance. But this time I was a little tired, and I was just going 75 and a 65, where everyone else was going 75. And I was following the guy in front of me by about 300 feet maybe, which is more than the recommended following distance for 75 miles an hour. So this guy slows down, and I'm kind of tired, so I'm not really paying attention actively to every place a cop could hide, especially since a month before that I started slowing down, so I wasn't really worried about getting tickets anymore. So I give it a bit of gas. I'm probably going about 85, and about 200 feet before, maybe about 100 feet before I cross 100 feet before the cop was hiding, and he was behind this concrete barrier, you see. I saw him, and I put on the brakes pretty fast. I have pretty quick reflexes, and I'm sure I slowed down to about 80, but he got me. I kind of panicked and braked because I really wasn't expecting it at all. They were operating speed traps all over the place. And he had clocked me at 84, and I thought that was BS, because I know it couldn't have been more than 80, because unless radar goes through a concrete block, that can't be true. But I didn't bother arguing with the guy. He was this gruff black guy, state trooper, so I didn't really bother because it seemed like a waste of time. He didn't even want to talk to me. He just gave me the ticket and left. And they were pulling over pretty much everyone there, so I didn't feel too bad about that. And he forgot that my registration for the newer car my registration sticker was expired, so I'm glad he didn't get me for that. I'm glad it wasn't on the New Jersey Interstate, because they have this fines doubled in 65 mile an hour zone, which is a bunch of bullshit, because there's no real evidence why it reduces accidents or is for safety. So I'm just wondering what other people's speeding ticket experiences are, and nowadays, what I do, I'm actually probably a worse driver than I was before, which is ironic, because when I do have to pass, I'm more concerned with looking for the cops by the side of the road than actually paying attention to my pass, so I try to do both. And I think this split attention where people are trying to drive at high rates of speed and looking at the side of the road for cop cars and highway patrol positioned there, I think that split attention really causes a lot of problems. I mean, ideally, you could say no one would speed, and that's not even ideal, though. I don't really believe that, but some people might say that. However, that's just basically reality, and especially since traffic is usually going 10 to 20 over the speed limit in this state, it's kind of unsafe to go the speed limit often. And often the speed limits are just ridiculous. So when you pass, unless you're going 20 under the speed limit, you're going to be going well over the speed limit, and sometimes that's 20, 30 even, if you're trying to make a quick pass. But if you do that, you get a nasty ticket, and if you try to get out of the way for a tailgater and go really fast to get back in the middle lane, you're at risk for getting a nasty ticket. Yet you're only looking out for your own safety, so I don't see how that's fair at all, because sometimes a safe pass means a quick pass, or sometimes a safe maneuver means quickly getting out of the way. So I don't think this current system is really set up to protect our safety at all, and I kind of find it to be a joke, actually, because I wasn't posing a danger to anyone. I was a little tired, but I was still focused on my driving, and most people who drive 85 in the left lane aren't posing a danger to anyone either. Actually, I'd say that most of those people are probably safer drivers than the slow drivers because they know what they're doing, though tailgaters are a bunch of jerk-offs. Anyway, if anyone wants to discuss this, feel free to comment. I'd like to hear your ideas to solve this problem, because I think our current speed limits, especially in New Jersey where drivers drive fast, are way too low. I don't know if they should even exist in the first place, but I recognize that people around here tend to be very aggressive, they tend to tailgate a lot, and we really do need better driver education. Alright, well, give me your thoughts on this and take care.